Zamfara, Katsina, in Benue, in Plateau, and other places. They are using them on defenseless protesters. Tell Nigeria that today is one of the darkest days in the history of Nigeria. EndSARS protest 2020 is 5 years today. So we are going to take a minute silence to recognize the heroes who were killed at the
All right, the protest is still on. You're welcome back. Sorry for that breaking transmission. You know the kind of country that we are. But Nigeria, like I said, the country that works for everybody, that's what we are rooting for. Okay, the protest is still on. News coming to us tells us that there was some light bullet being shot, and some reporters told us that the protesters were camping for safety and making sure that they were safe. Peter, the protest is still very, very on. We saw Nnamdi Kanu. We saw Showore just now addressing the crowd. Maybe the reason I mentioned Nnamdi Kanu was because they were telling Philip to prophesy. And when it was got to time of prophecy, Philip couldn't prophesy.
He chickened out because I was not giving money. Because the pastor said this prophecy does not just come. So something has to okay, you didn't get seed, right? No. You have to sow seed.
All right. Now the protest is still on. The matters are still on the table. The main issue on the table is that free Nnamdi Kanu now. Joy has told us that he doesn't completely agree with all that Nnamdi Kanu is saying, but he said in a government everybody have the right to say what they want to say, and they've not also gotten a full backing from the governors from the eastern part of the country. Some of them are playing politics with all these things. Some of them are saying that if Nnamdi Kanu is free, that a lot of things are being disorganized in the southeast. Of course, Mondays are already work-free days as a result of the stay-at-home order. Nnamdi Kanu is the cause of these things. Do you think he should be free?
Yeah, we should look at our laws and our constitution. They've taken him to court, and from what we heard, Appeal Court, High Court, they've acquitted him. So the issue, and others are asking, if your own court have said he has not done anything wrong, so why keep him? Why I want to use I say double jeopardy. Why try to introduce a case that has been quashed? Not that you appeal against that judgment. So now the issue now is not whether he's doing what he's doing is right or wrong. You've taken him to court, and court has said this man free. You don't have anything against him. So for Southeast governors, I am quite disappointed with a lot of them. What they're doing, they're playing politics. They don't want to be standing against government. They don't want to be seen against government. Each governor you touch, they think they have approached Tinubu on this matter. They've spoken to Tinubu and they've had discussion. What were the outcome of these discussions? What are the promises made to you towards Nnamdi Kanu? All we hear, we've met Tinubu. All we hear, we've met Tinubu. All we hear, we've met Tinubu. You've not taken any action to free somebody from your state. And most of them, they are afraid of Nnamdi's popularity. At the point, with that amazing words, at the point, Nnamdi Kanu control the narrative in the southeast. If Nnamdi Kanu come and say, vote against this man, it will be difficult for you to win. So at that point, they don't want such a figure to be free. A lot of them we are threatened by Nnamdi Kanu's freedom. So because of that, they have been playing politics with it. If they sincerely believe or demanded for Nnamdi release, we would have seen actions. They would have spoken out. We would have seen press release. We would have heard them. But what are they doing? They're just dealing with it. Throughout the Solido said he has made Tinubu severally to release Nnamdi Kanu. We heard in Ba the same story. After those meetings, what were the communicates? What did you tell people about the meeting? And after the meeting, they said nothing. So for sure to have taken this up, it's a big kudos to him. And I said this, I think it was during our BPL discussion. I am quite impressed with showing maturity. He has matured as a person. He has moved beyond unionism. He has moved beyond it. prior to this period, you will not see Sowore stand side by side with Jonathan Goodluck. You will not see Sowore approach Atiku. You will not see Sowore talk with Obi. Beyond now. But now you're saying it's beyond what I think. It's a collective move. It's getting everybody on board to get this done. But today is Nnamdi Kanu. Tomorrow it could still be him, Sowore. Tomorrow it could still be Obi. So what he's doing now is that creating this awareness. Injustice for one is injustice for all.
All right. Philip, I will take you on two sides, or three questions together, but you will just take them one after the other. Number one, this protest is not about Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, or any other tribe. It's detribalized, marshaled by Sowore himself. We see from the videos, a lot of people from the north, a lot of from the west, a lot of everybody, Nigeria as a whole. That's number one. Number two, I want you to take on the Southeast governors. I didn't play in politics with this. Number three, I want you to take it from the side of Nnamdi Kanu himself. A lot of people have argued that insecurity has increased as a result of the ECN and so many other groups that are risen up because of Nnamdi Kanu's agitation, and it has made the Southeast ungovernable.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, on the first question, I will draw my analysis from what he said. Just injustice for one is injustice for all. Today is Nnamdi Kanu. The protest is all about justice. It's like you said, it's not about anybody. It's not about Nnamdi Kanu. It's not about Yoruba. It's not about Igbo. It's not about Hausas. It's not about the minorities such as the Urobo, the Efik, the Edo, the Esa. No. The protest is about justice. It's protest against injustice. The incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu, the detention without release is injustice to all. And if it's not, spoken against today, if everybody keep quiet about it, it could be anybody the following day. So that is why the Nigerian people have to come out, as spearheaded by Sowore, that look, if we keep quiet, it could be your turn tomorrow. This is injustice. This is not about Nnamdi Kanu. This is about justice. That injustice is being meted on Nnamdi Kanu. So let's fight against injustice so that we all can live in a free society. That's what today's protest is all about. It's not about anybody. It's not about any tribe. It's not about any religion. It's about justice and injustice. They are fighting against each other. Who succeed? Is it injustice that will succeed or justice will succeed? At the end of this protest, we will know which of them will prevail. That's for that. Now, coming to the Southeast governor, I also going to draw an analogy from what he said. When Nnamdi Kanu was free at the prime time of this agitation of Nnamdi Kanu, it was very paramount that politicians seek his blessing, especially politicians from the East, before they go for election. And with his being detained, politicians are free to do all their manipulation. It's only in the Southeast they will have Supreme Court governor. A man who came forth became the governor. And when he went for his second tenure, before 12 noon, his result was announced. So it's only in the Southeast. So if Nnamdi Kanu would have been there, see, that is why the protest about today's protest about Nnamdi Kanu is about justice. Nnamdi Kanu would have stood against that kind of injustice in Imo State. But who is going to speak for them? So it is the pleasure of the Southeast governor to perpetually keep Nnamdi Kanu in detention so that they can express injustice or perpetuate injustice in the people of the Southeast. Now, on your third question, I am not comfortable, like Sowore said, that it is not everything that the Kanu stand for, that I stood for. But what I'm fighting today is injustice. That is going to inform what I'm going to say next. Nnamdi Kanu has been very, very unfair to the Southeast. He has destroyed the economy of Southeast. If you say you are fighting for people, it is not for you to cause them pains and hardship, but to ensure that they live a better life. But his agitation has caused pains to the people of South Africa, destroyed their economy.
Could you have done this agitation better in a more
exactly? That's what I'm saying. You made people to close their business down every first day of the week. On at a point it was 3 days. How do you want them to survive? How do you want the Southeast to grow economically? So that's why they said no man is perfect. This was his weakness. He would have done it better.
I think
this is my opinion.
I think I might differ a little bit. If, like me, I'm a Southeasterner, I might not hold brief for him. When the small move started, I was one of the people that are supposed to join. Even at the point they were recruiting people into their so-called military arm. I was aware of that. But the violence escalated when Nnamdi Kanu was arrested. Just follow me. When he was taken, they became splitter groups.
No coordination.
Yes. Ebe was in Finland doing so. Some other people, ESN, I believe they call it.
ESN, yeah.
It's when he was even he wasn't even in charge. So that violence got to this peak. But there's no voice. He wasn't there to control them. At the point he said this one day sit at home has ended. I heard him clearly. But those benefiting from it push that narrative harder. Those that exploited his absence took control of the whole movement, start making it. Do you know how much people were making from donations from abroad? So it is what it is. Because he started the movement, if you remember, it was peaceful. What he was asking, he wanted freedom, he wanted Southeast to be free from the country. But me, any of us from Southeast, I don't even want that.
Why will you start something that you cannot control?
You see, when you said he is not to blame, you see, as a leader, you should take the blames and the credit.
Yeah.
So Nnamdi Kanu started sit at home and he started a force group. Agreed, there were splinter group and all of that. What do you expect to be the outcome of that? You see, that's why I said a man who wants a betterment for his people should also think ahead of tomorrow. If we take this route, where will it lead us to?
I want to ask the question there.
Yes.
I didn't say he shouldn't be blamed. I said, look at this. Let's look at this critically. Where have you seen any country that seceded from its parent country without struggle? When you talk about struggle, it involves all these things we're talking about. But nobody going to leave you to walk away from the sovereignty. See South Sudan and what happened? See Yugoslavia, what happened? They always end up this way. I'm coming now. Just like Camille, allow me. He talked about referendum. Okay, the government, let's do referendum. Government said no. He talked about the judgment that he has expired that said, okay, stay with this group till so years. That judgment, that time period has expired. Let's go on with a referendum to see whether people want to stay. Me, for one, I prefer stay in Nigeria. People don't understand the strength in number. Nigeria is a big market because of our number. Nigeria, we are state of Africa, not because of our presidency, because of our number. There's a strength in number. There's a strength in diversity. Some of us will believe in it. So I'm not a politician. I'm not ready for a political office. So I won't say I'm saying it, but I want you to campaign for me. No, I'm saying what it is.
Okay. Let me come back to Philip. Now, he went to where I was wanting to go to, Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu said, "I am not leaving Abuja without Biafra," and he said they should rather keep me in Abuja than not give me Biafra. At this point, where Nigeria has gotten to, I've always said it, like he said, there's strength in numbers. Even though we divide into eastern city or states, maybe we now have Biafra, doesn't mean that their same Biafra is one. There's still going to be
fractional, yes.
There's going to be fractionalized. Do you think his agitation for Biafra is cogent, is good?
You see, that's why I take you back to the question you asked me before now. That today's protest, the protest, is it about the Easterner, the Westerner, the Southerner, the Northerner, or the whatever? And you also said, in my response, I said, today's protest is all about justice. You see, that is why the question of Biafra or no Biafra is irrelevant to today's discussion. Because if we were to go by that, we wouldn't have been talking about the protest, and there shouldn't be protests. So Wole is not from the east, But we're talking about injustice being perpetuated.
No, Philip. I will allow you to continue. Yes. Now, Biafra is the bottom, as in is the roof of everything that's happening.
That's why I'm going.
The government have their own reason for keeping Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes.
Nnamdi Kanu has his own reason for his agitation. Shore says a man is not as bad as this we're talking about. But the issue of Biafra cannot be waved with the left hand.
Very well. You know, the issue of Biafra cannot be waved away with. That's why I took you back to the question you asked me. And that's why I'm saying, if it is about Biafra, today's protest will not be.
No.
But today's protest is about injustice. That is why, yes, I agreed that Biafra is the bedrock on which today's protest come into limelight. If Nnamdi Kanu had been treated fairly, because when we're talking about agitation for state, cessation from this country, it is not only the Biafra.
This guy now is that.
That's not the Socialami, the Omo Oduduwa, who also said the same thing with Nnamdi, who ran to Benin Republic and was picked up, has been granted freedom. Why is the case of Nnamdi Kanu different? That is
but he has also dropped his agitation.
That is why today's protest is very.
But he has dropped his agitation.
Whether he dropped it or not,
released.
Whether he dropped it or not, he was not. He didn't drop it before he was released.
It should be for long.
You see why we should be very, very conscious of today's protest. And no, because you started it on a very good note. When you said, "Is he about the tribe?" or so far, that is the plank we are standing on. Because the question will be asked. Is it because to do what the man was asking for? The city president, is it because is it from there?
No, okay, so let's extract that, because most of these streams don't stay alone. They are not stay alone, they are all connected. We are talking about Sunday Igboho.
Yes.
Now, Sunday Igboho started an agitation. There was a form of even a kind of a little coup in Ibadan when they were trying to go into the government house and take over power. Now, the leaders of the Southwest came together and help Sunday Igboho to stay in Benin.
To escape.
And by his escaping, they also called him to order. If you can tell me right now, if you can attest to what I'm saying, Sunday Igboho has been very quiet. As we speak, Sunday Igboho lives in Germany, because the last time he spoke is in Germany. The leaders of the Southeast, the issue that has pervaded this Nnamdi Kanu's case has been as a result of the fact that they've not been able to sit down with Nnamdi Kanu and said, let us.
Let me respond. No, I want to respond. You see, you always bring out very good point on this issue. Sunday Igboho was helped to escape by the leader of the Southwest to Benin. And then
the president was not president at the time.
And then when the president became president, he was, he was asked, let out of the hook, and then was helped to go to Germany, whether you like it or not. Today he lives in Germany. Also, when you come to the Southeast, when the issue of Nnamdi Kanu came up the first time he was arrested, it was a city senator from the Southeast, another prominent man, that signed his bail, guaranteed that this man will be available.
That's a bail.
Yes, and the man went to the east. What did the federal government did? They sent army to his home. I don't know if the father and the mother survived it, and his nation, and his whole entire community. Are you looking for peace that way? Why is the treatment to A is different from the treatment to B? Why don't you create an avenue for Nnamdi Kanu to go and live elsewhere, so that he can? Did you give the Eastern opportunity leaders to sit with Nnamdi Kanu to say, okay, now this is what the government is offering, so we will work with it? Maybe
that's a failure from the Southeast.
No,
leaders,
that is
because
why
there's no unity.
That is why we have today protest. It's because of the injustice. Whether you like it or not, the Easterner of this country has suffered injustice for a very long time.
But let me still put you on notice that most of the Southeastern leaders that were contacted for this protest, for example, someone like Ojuzo Kalu, he boldly said that this matter is in court and I'm not going to talk about it. And so many part of them. Now, they don't show cohesion. That's the Southern leaders. They don't show cohesion. The leaders of the Southeast, that's Eastern states, they don't show cohesion. They don't show talking from the same disease. The Ohaneze Indigbo has not even come out to make statement. They said they are not part of this protest.
No, Philip,
I'm talking about
Philip,
a lot of stuff. I'm talking about this protest.
Philip, wait, PK. Let's not to digress. This is all about justice. But since we've gone that way, let's follow you a bit. Honest and Igbo have done what they should do about Nnamdi Kanu. They've written, they made publication, they've not done the riot, they have not done the demonstration. Not everybody have the power of like Showore to gather people. So many people could have called for this demonstration, nobody called. So that him has that trash when it comes to this. And what was Nnamdi Kanu asking for? He's asking for equity for his people. At that point, look at this federal appointment, look at those in the military, look at everything. The South listener was not really at disadvantage. He was asking for it. And as well as you said, like what I said to you about this protest, this is a peaceful protest. But if government through the back door will introduce violence, was Nnamdi Kanu agitation before violent? No. Government will through the back door introduce violence. They are attacking for responding. That's what they will do today in today's protest. They will shoot tear gas, they will shoot bullets on the air, people will react, they will attack them for being violent. But they don't introduce violence. So that has been consistent with it. Nnamdi Kanu left Nigeria at the point, went to UK. Where was he arrested? Was he in Nigeria? No, in Kenya. So why? Igbo has gone to Germany. Don't even visit maybe Ghana, he should be arrested. So consistency in politics is what else we're talking about. Everybody should be treated equally. If our president just pardoned how many people? What's something for doing that? He missed that glorious opportunity. They were waiting to score cheap political points with it. This man, you've held him down for so long. You've incarcerated him for how long? Do you know what it is to be locked up in a place without communication with people? Your sanity, you're losing it. And we are here. See, let's focus on what Showore is saying. It's all about injustice that is being meted out to this man. His lawyer is there. He can show you the court judgment on this. The federal government has refused to obey.
Okay, all right. In some minutes, we'll go back to the street and see how they are doing on the street. Now, before we go there, you talked about the federal government not wanting protest. Of course, it's in the character of this particular government not to want protest. Philip said it during the military era. I was in Benin at the time. I mean, 92, 93, there was mass protest.
I was not just in Benin, I was a student of Unibe, and we took the corpse of SAP to the government house. Military government house, not civilian.
Now, this particular government that were known for protest by themselves when they were not in government, we all remember the
fuel subsidy.
The fuel subsidy, what do you call it? Occupied Nigeria. I mean, I've never seen a protest like that. They protested up to the end. We could take our mattresses, our beds, and go to this road and lie on it
and be cooking
and doing everything. Why is it that this government has done everything to make sure there is no protest? Is it gagging the Nigerian people?
They are. Do you know a lot of people that were involved in this EndSARS project? They are still under detention. Imagine when EndSARS project ended. A lot has to be held by this government. So they know the power of this thing. They know how it could. Now, this protest started with justice for Nnamdi Kanu. They know that if they don't checkmate it, it could snowball into a bigger something. Now, from Nigeria, it could become Nigerian to start talking about insecurity in Nigeria. Before it will gather traction and it become too big for government. So that's why they will not allow it. And I said this most often. If you've done well, if you delivered on your mandate, if Nigerian lives are better, nobody wants to go be out on the street. A lot of people are out on the street because they have nothing to do. A lot, not just apart. A lot have nothing to do.
Okay, so we are getting signals from the street right now. There's a video that we'll hook you up to. Let's watch that video.
Kenya court has ordered for a police. all. So we are going to our protest. Nobody can be intimidated. We are the protest is peaceful. They say that we should not go to Villa, we should not go to National Assembly. We are now at Bega. I don't say they that to pass and Arab Junction in Korea. So just to pass the message. So come and join us in the protest.
Nnamdi Kanu now.
All right, we are back from the street. The protest is still on. We saw the lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu addressing the people. Now back to what we were saying about this particular government not wanting people to protest. Not just only about Nnamdi Kanu. Every protest that has been organized, they put their effort more in making sure that the protest doesn't hold. Philip, let me come to you. Why is this government this way?
You know, sometimes you can't really blame this government because it shows that they have a deep understanding of what togetherness. People who come together for a purpose, to a unified purpose, to achieve something. It is difficult to break them. So, what the government has, the strategy they have employed here is this: do not allow these people to start. Because if they start, you can't stop it. Even God himself made the mistake of allowing the children of Israel like them to start building this Tower of Babel.
Is it for behold the people is one?
So when God now saw the power of togetherness, the unity, and the struggle, the strength to achieve that purpose, he said, look, we better put asunder on these people. This government, now coming to this government, they achieve the feat they achieve today, what they are enjoying today, by reason of protest. Because that's why they had the animal boldness to call Jonathan a clueless man, because he do not read in between the line that allowing these people to gather at all time, it will be detriment to his own government. That is why they were able to occupy Nigeria and successfully ensure that the subsidy removal then with plan and purpose were not removed. Because when you look at that time, when Jonathan proposed to remove the fuel subsidy, you had the likes of Ngozi Iweala, you have David Adesina, who just left the African Development Bank and all that, with plans and strategy to ensure that the product, what we get from the subsidy removal, will be channeled into developing this country. In fact, they started with the sovereign wealth. They created the sovereign wealth where they were saving money for the future. And this element came aboard and said, occupy Nigeria, that when they removed that in every country, government always subsidize something. But when it came to their time, just a statement without plan in place, they remove fuel subsidy. So when people are gathered together, in fact, the only one they allow, because we have to be, let's open it up. It's not just this government, the APC government. The only one they've allowed so far was the EndSARS protest, because they didn't take proactive measure to nip it on board. Like he said, he almost brought that government down until they took to killing innocent people. The truth remains that this government,
is it that they are afraid?
Not only that they are afraid, they are wicked government. They have taken our constitution and folded it and put it in a dustbin. They don't operate within the constitutional confine. We can't see that this is a lawful government. How can you procure an order of court from the same court that declined the order within less than 6 hours?
In fact, according to the story, the judge took the government lawyer into his chamber and granted the order.
That's what I'm saying. Because you see, that's why I said this government is a lawless government, because it is not known to law that a court that sat at open court and declined an order, same court, because it's a ruling, that I therefore rule that put the defender on notice and come back on a return date so that we can hear both sides. Why the order should not be granted, let him state it. There were no appeal. And if you appeal it, you are going to appeal to a higher court. Same court, less than 6 hours. Same day that the order was granted by the same person. What kind of men do we have in the judiciary today? What kind of people are presiding over our courts?
The court used to be, the judiciary should be the last hope of the common man. It doesn't seem so anymore.
We were told that the man who sits in the court is representing God. Is God representing you? You don't see the man, you see God. When we were younger, we read a book that a Daniel has come to a judgment. When a judgment was before, I think in one of the Shakespeare's play, you know, when they said, okay, they are going to, when the man gave judgment, a Daniel has come to a judgment, which means a man is spirit of God, because you know the story of Daniel in the Bible. Anytime there is a problem in the Babylon kingdom or the kingdom he served, his judgment are always final and they solve problem. But here we have a judge who gave a ruling without a ruling being appealed against, give another one. So which of them do you think Showore would obey? Is it the one that said it should come back to court tomorrow?
No, the one in the open court or the one in the secret court? Peter, this government, he said, there's something he said. He said there's a wickedness being demonstrated by this present government. This government, you don't make yourself popular by being wicked to the people. You make yourself popular by obeying the rule of law. Yar'Adua's government was quite a government that everybody appreciated and loved. That's the late Yar'Adua, God bless him. So, we saw how he spoke about his own election and said that the process of bringing me here may not have been thorough. He said, but we are going to make it look or make it better. This government doesn't seem to want to do what
I might not tell you what you just said now. I'm not to that line. I think this government is higher on politics than governance. All they actually do is politics. Politics in the sense that what will you do that will give us advantage? How do we quench rising voice, opposition voice? How do we subdue them? It's all about the destination.
That's not politics.
That no to them.
No, because you know there's a rhetoric you started with. You said this government are more into politicking than into governance. Now politicking means that I'm on my game, right? Top of my game, trying to win you to myself by good policies. Now being into a law, I've always said it, the Bible to which governs us is the Constitution. Now putting the Constitution aside and making your own rules, that's not politics.
We have Financial Assembly that should have oversight function over this government. National Assembly members, they're not all from Southwest. They come from every part of the country. So if this government has played politics with them and they've bought into it, it's politics. See, it is all for them. It is all for me. It's all about politics. Yes, some of these politics they're playing is injurious to our constitution. It's injurious to the way we live. It's injurious to our economy. But we don't care. They care about the next election. We'll digress because we'll have time. Why are all governors jumping ship? Are they jumping ship, as you said, because this government has performed? No. Government has made them an offer. What's the offer? We're talking about electoral reform. Yes. And most like this electoral reform will come through. One of the key things there is that all election will be done in one day. And imagine now, if all governors has moved to APC, with all the House members and national members have moved to APC, and election will be done in one day. How will the governor win his election without it impacting on presidential election positively? You know, prior before now, we'll do presidential election first, 2 weeks later, we'll do governorship. So, in National Assembly, we are here, we also it. When he promised a lot of them will come back, what did that do? That caused a mass movement. Every person was decamping from their party to APC. Because of one utterance from president. He knows the politics. We all are coming back. He cannot guarantee you that if you're not in his party. Politics. So why are they stopping this? They want to stop this. What did the show record again? This protest.
Free Nnamdi
Kanu protest. Why are they trying to stop it? Because it will create a wrong narrative about them. It will create a wrong image about this about them to the international community. So what would you do as a politician? See a way of stopping it, which is what Nigerian police will do very soon. They will soon shoot, and it will become violent.
No. Not that those who should reports reaching us tells us that were live bullet being shot.
Then when people respond, it becomes violent. Say they are violent.
Now, what we see today, Philip, is as a result of the government stopping a lot of people that are coming into town. From our investigation, the Federal Secretariat is shut down. It's a no-go area. We've heard that those coming from Nyanya, Maraba, and all that Lancia, Kefi axis, the road is blocked. Those coming in from Kubwa,
Zuba. No, Kubwa is free. I came from Kubwa.
Okay.
From Kubwa town is free, but you notice that it's unusually this free
at this particular time.
So we're all amazed. We didn't know that they blocked off those coming from Madala, those Aziz. They blocked them all from coming to town.
So let me respond.
So why is the government blocking people from coming into town?
Yes, you see, the bourgeois that lives in the city center, they don't protest.
Yeah.
They don't feel the pain the way the common man feels it, even though they feel it. Because it is only in this government that even the billionaires is reduced to be, to be a poor man. Okay? So, now, who are the people who feel the brunt of the government policies most? It is those who live in Maraba, Yaya, what do you call it, one-man village and the rest of them. And those who cannot afford to pay for estates that are close to the town, who lives in Niger State, to come to work.
Suleja.
To come, that's why I say Niger State. To come to work in the city center, that are the ones that feel it most. So these are the people who know that Sowore is about to do something today. Who said, who knows, if Sowore can successfully carry out this protest, maybe our other problem will be solved. Like he said, the government is aware that the title might be free Nnamdi Kanu now, but this can snowball to be restore security to us, improve on our economy. There's hunger in the land. Let our road be free from kidnappers and banditry. Because government does not have intention of solving this problem. So what do? They have taken to the point that they have now released the security apparatus against the innocent citizens who are coming out to express their grievances. Instead of government to take time and listen to these people's grievances so that they can find a way. It is true that the man in power might not know what is happening in the street. His lieutenant might not be letting him see the truth. But if I allow this protest to go on today, the truth might come to his ears. But what are they doing? They are doing everything possible for this protest not to hold. That is why, that is the answer to your question. They are blocking these people not to come to town so that they cannot express their grievances, so that their voice cannot be heard by Mr. President. Mr. President might be innocent. He might not be aware of all of this. But if only and only his handler will allow this protest to go on, just maybe.
And provide security.
Yes, just maybe. The president will hear what is happening on the street. But would they allow that to happen?
Okay, all right. Fault most of the time is not one. Well, no, we have talked about Nnamdi Kanu, and I've asked Philip directly. I said a lot of insecurity has arisen in the southeast. A lot of economic stuff has been destroyed in the southeast. Mondays, there are no work in the southeast, and a lot of people have been killed. I mean, we've seen, I don't know what they call them now, unknown gunmen. We have seen ECN. We have seen so many of them. In fact, one person actually argued. He said, ask Chukuma Soludo what he experiences in Anambra. I mean, let's look at this same part of Nnamdi Kanu. If he's freed, will these things come back to normal? Or will he continue in that trend? Because Philip said something. Philip said he was attacked in his home. But government also still had some information that he was gathering some strength in his own place. That's how they struck.
First and foremost, let me clear this. on Monday, people working Southeast. I just came, just few weeks, I was in Owerri. And there's change, there's massive change.
Fully? Do people work fully?
Go to Owerri. And
I'm just asking.
yes, now I was in Owerri. And again, with this arrest of what they call it, that is in Finland, he has helped matter a lot, because now he was the voice instructing while he was enjoying his freedom in Finland. So with his arrest, he has helped. There is quite free movements in the Southeast on Mondays. I've been to Enugu, I've been to Owerri, I've been to Umuahia. So there is. And we cannot overflow this issue of Nnamdi Kanu release. As I said there, I'll say it again. Most politicians in Southeast, they were threatened by his popularity. They had a hand in him staying. Because then, before he was arrested, Nnamdi Kanu can decide who wins the election in Southeast. It's like a mini god then. People were gravitating towards him. His ideology of getting Southeasterners freedom. So if he comes against you, campaign against you, you're not winning the election. So then, we are part of those that have made it almost impossible for him to get his freedom. But as time has moved on, this movement has watered down. And we are looking beyond what he's asking for. We're looking at him as a man. Why is government infringing on his right as a citizen? Why is government infringing on it?
Okay.
That's what questions we're asking.
Okay, all right. We know that there's a little about security being spoken about. We heard about information about the coup, during just almost the weekend, by maybe Saturday, but the army has also come out to tell us that there was no coup or intending coup. But one thing they did not tell us was that the people that were arrested, what were they arrested for? Philip.
That's a very, a very complicated and complex matter.
Yeah.
It's all boiled down to this, injustice we're talking about today. If some army officers, this is not the first time we're experiencing this kind of thing in this country. If I take my mind back, sometime ago, about 112 or thereabouts, very brilliant officers of this country, or 131, were destroyed because they came up with the flimsy story of under Babangida administration. I think they were in the plane and they said the plane crashed, and they were the best. At that time, they were all destroyed for flimsy excuses. Yes, the rumor were there over the weekend. The people were arrested, and that we cannot really speak on it because we don't know which way, how true the story is, especially when the army authority has come to debunk it that there were no rumor of coup, that the people, is their internal mechanism. They know how to discipline themselves. They have their own rules and all of that. So because we are not abreast with those information, we cannot speak detail about it because they sign into it. When you're joining the army or whatever, you sign. You
follow the rules
of but again, it's all boiled down to injustice we're talking about today. You see, that's why you have to bring it so that we can relate it. Because if these armies were is it 18 officers and all the rest of them, or 16, they were picked up for one offense or the other. If you think it wasn't a coup, but you pick them up for obvious reasons,
you still tell us.
Either they get to face court martial, also we know their offenses. So we are appealing that as we're asking for this freedom, these guys should also be given fair hearing, whatever it is,
and clarity.
Yes, whatever it is.
I might differ a little bit from Philip, because this government, they are quick to respond to things. When Sahara broke that news, I was looking forward to see government being whom they are. No, as today, government has not said anything about it. I accepted the arrest of some people.
It's within the confines of the military to tell us what went down, right? It's not within the now. If the army to which
we are used to 1st October parade.
Those are the narratives.
See narratives. Say everything. It's almost alive. I'm not saying it was, but clarity is important. These people were arrested, and they mentioned Brigadier General. One of the Brigadier was arrested.
Yeah.
In that army report too, a Brigadier General was arrested.
No, you see, Peter, this is it. The government has spoken through the military. Am I correct? And said that there is no coup. The jurisdiction to which this stuff falls on is the military, Nigerian military. The chief of defense staff have come out and said that there was no coup. People to disregard those kind of statements. Of course,
did he say there was no coup?
Hold on now. As citizens of this country, we are also still demanding a lot of other clarity and tell us that what it is. We believe what the government has said. Do you understand that there was no coup? That the army, like you said, they have their own internal mechanism to which they deal with their own issues. You know, the court martial process, we normally see it on news. We also still want to see. That's what we're asking for. We want to see. We still want to see.
Asking for justice for those army that they are being detained.
Yes,
what they did.
Like we are asking for justice for Nnamdi Kanu, but the justice is on both ways. If they fall short of the law, they pay the price. But the only way you can get to that is for justice, for us to know what they did and what the law says about their action. That is justice. We are asking for justice for Nnamdi Kanu. We are asking for justice for these military officers that are being detained. Currently, we don't know why they are being detained, but whatever they are being detained for, it should be made to be known to the public, so that we can know that they are having justice. That's what we're saying.
All right.
So I'm not saying otherwise now.
All right. We will keep on monitoring the situation as it unfolds, and we will bring you back when there is. We'll bring back more information to you when there is more. But just keep watching out. We'll be right back.